You are listening to the Iconic Agent New Construction Marketing Podcast.
I'm Nathaniel Crawford.
And I'm Damon Green.
We've helped agents sell over $400 million in new construction since 2020.
And now we're here to skyrocket your sales. Let's build your real estate empire and create the life you deserve. In this episode, Nate and I discuss why some agents struggle in hard times versus others that get through almost seamlessly. All right, so let's talk about the elephant in the room, the thing that most folks, because they're not honest with themselves and they're not truthful, the last, what would you say, 12, maybe 24 months, more 12 months, 24 months?
I'd say about 18.
Okay,
18 months or
the
so.
last 12 to 18 months, agents that have been struggling.
Yep.
I've had conversations with agents that are some of our top producing agents, and some of them are like, yeah, it's been a little rough. I know, because we work with agents. So agents have to have money in order to give us money to help them. So it's been a little, bumpy as well, be 100% transparent. But we still move through it. And one of the things that we have is a pipeline of agents, thousands of agents that we reach out to. So relaying that back to the initial topic of this, struggling agents, something that I've noticed is I've talked to last year alone a couple hundred agents on the phone, and they're struggling. New agents, OG agents, people I know, and then I talked to, there's a series of 3 agents, Iconic agents, that I spoke to, and they were struggling less than the other agents. So some of them were like, nah, it's all good for me. But the difference when I looked at the 2 of those is, here's the cliche right here, they had a pipeline, number one, and they were continuing to build a pipeline. Their pipeline has been built for the last, from 4 years down to about 2.5 years, they've been building their pipeline. And yeah, you get the ebbs and flows, but it's less ebby and flowy. I just made that up. It's less ebby and flowy when you have a pipeline and you're consistently reaching out and doing your due diligence, following up with them, giving them value. And then I was talking to my lady, and I was talking to her about that, and she said it's not the fact that they had a pipeline, it's the fact they had a pipeline and there were buyers in there. And that's when we were talking it's a numbers game, just like real estate is a numbers game. They have high hundreds to thousands of leads in their pipeline. I think one of them might even have almost 10,000 that they're constantly rolling through. They've been building up. So it's a numbers. There's a buyer. You tell me all the time. Yeah. There's a buyer in there. Yep. Now, if you have 14 people or 40 people, you might have a buyer at some point. But if you have 4,000,
there's buyers in there.
There's buyers in there. So,
what is words of Tommy Powers? There's money in your list.
That is the truth. That is the absolute truth. And it's not just the list, because I've talked to people who are like, oh, I ran ads before and I did this, I have a list that's, 2,500 people. I was like, 25, what? Yeah. Okay, what are you doing with them? Oh, I haven't talked to them in a while, so they're kind of stale. So, what are your? Let's get some. Well, let's take it from there, because we can do the 9-word email. What are your thoughts on that? Pipeline, struggling agents and agents that are like, I'm going to wait to build a pipeline versus the agents that are building. And
well, that's the thing. I think a lot of there's 3 things. I think there are sometimes agents who make the mistake I did early in their career, and they have the traffic and don't build the list. I met literally thousands of people, if not tens of thousands of people, when we had the sales center down in the mall over my first 3, 4, 5, 7 years in real estate. And I just wasn't building the list. I'd follow up with them about I didn't have a CRM that I actually used diligently. So I had them, but I didn't have them. They just sort of came and went.
And that's typical, unfortunately.
And you look back and you're like, man, that could have been 10,000 people. So there are a lot of agents, I think, that are in positions where they get a steady inflow of leads, and they don't learn from what I would call a classically trained real estate person or a marketing person that, hey, you're building a list here. Don't just engage with the people who engage now. If they're engaged enough to give you their information, that means at some point in time they may want to work with you. You should stay in touch with them.
At least 50% of people that come in for a thing here in real estate are going to buy within 18 to 24 months. The question is, are they going to buy with you? Are they going to remember you?
So that's the first step, I would say, is if you're in a position where you're getting a steady flow of people, make sure that you're keeping those people engaged. The second thing, if you're not, blessed to be somewhere where you're getting a whole bunch of traffic, then when you do engage people at networking events or wherever, make sure you have some sort of process for those people. So you're building your list. You might be building it slower, but you're building the list. So whether that's networking events or whatever, because you want to start building that list, because at some point in time, even if it's just 2-3 people a week or 4 or 5 people you met at a networking event.
Let's be clear on this, because you're talking like an internet marketer now, so I'm going to put the real estate hat on, so we're switching roles. When you're saying list, you mean building that pipeline. It's the same thing.
Yes.
They're interchangeable.
Yeah, well, your list of people. This is a list of buyers.
So,
so you're
pipeline,
building the list of So your pipeline is the people that you meet. Mm-hmm. So you're building this list of people that I can email, this list of people that I can call, this list of people that I can send a voicemail to. And if you're doing that in a predictable, methodical way, then even if it's just 5 people a week, that 5 people a week becomes 50 people if you're doing it every week of the month or every week of the year. So that's the first sort of step, I would say, if you're someone who doesn't have a list and you're not in a position to go buy a list or go be into somewhere you can build the list very quickly. The next piece of that, as someone who historically has not nurtured my list the way I should have, make sure you're touching them. Whether that's one of the most powerful things I've heard lately is a property of the week, something of the week, something. Hey, this is what we're doing. This is a property to focus on, a new construction property, a question of the day, whatever. So something to engage those people on a weekly basis, and then on a monthly basis, some sort of call to action. So doing things to stay top of mind with them, so they're at least just used to seeing your face, getting an email from you. That
value,
type of thing.
Just give them some value. It can be real estate related, because that's the booty call.
Yeah, well, that's what I was about to say. So we don't want to hit them with the booty call formula, but what I would say is there's value. And sometimes the value is humor. Sometimes the value is just something absurd. Yeah. I saw this funny video. You guys should check this out.
Here's a bad dad joke.
Yeah, just random stuff. Like I've found that there's a lot of some of the most engaging posts that I have are just random stuff. Hey, 5 Guys is better than BurgerFi. Don't debate me. And I have clients that'll call me behind random news like that.
Yeah.
So we go from why you like BurgerFi over 5 Guys to, are you still in the market? All from a random Instagram post or email. So thinking outside of the box, to use the cliche of how am I going to keep these people engaged? How am I going to say something once you have the list to stay top of mind and sort of humanize yourself, so you can have conversations that aren't always led by real estate.
And here's something else. So let's hit with a couple actionables. You go over the 9-word email. I'm going to go over this because it just popped in my head. So if you're an agent that's on Instagram a lot, you're on the gram, you're here doing this, you're here doing that, I ate at this place, boom, 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 boom. You have zero reason not to follow with your pipeline, because all you have to do is take this post that you did on Instagram, 5 Guys is better than BurgerFi, and send an email, say, hey, don't debate me. What are your thoughts? Link, boom, straight to Instagram. Now you're getting them on social, and you're followed up, and they're like, ha, 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 ha. So they'll probably reply back, nah, man, you're wrong. Bob's Burgers is better. But that's a way to make it easy. If you have any videos, any social media content, just email them a link. Hey, I shot this quick video for you. Here's a quick walkthrough tour. We just went through Panther National Golf Course. Hey, I just went through Panther National Golf Course, $11 million home, 1 acre lot. Go check it out. Boom. Whatever the case may be, that's easy. Like, you don't have to overthink this, but you got to stay in touch with them. If you're putting it out on the gram, you think it's valuable there, put it there. Now, if you have a big pipeline and you think it's stale, let's say we've got 246 people on our lists, aka pipeline, what's the best way to re-engage them? I hadn't touched them in 6 or 9 months. What's the best way to re-engage them?
The best way is a statement email. So we call it the 9-word email. Just a one-liner that.
And I give a shout out to Dean Jackson for that, because that was his original thing. So
there you go. So that's what we've had a bunch of success with is 6 words, 9 words, however many words. But it's basically a statement. Hey, are you still interested in South Florida real estate? Are you
text
still
or
interested
email,
in
either or?
And that open-ended question will make them respond. And to me, I've found it to be a very easy way to clean your list as well. So people will say no. And
screw you, no. Get the hell away from me. Who are you?
Upset, but other people will say, yeah, it's crazy that you sent me that. I was actually just, on Zillow a minute ago. Yeah, are you free to talk? So it's a very easy way to engage, and it doesn't take a lot of heavy lifting. One of the things that I know I've been a victim of is thinking that I got to have a whole plan together and write this email and get the copyright and come up with a good idea.
Just get them to respond and have a conversation. Yeah. A conversation is a response to email.
But that's it. So knowing that it's just a question, it doesn't have to be this well thought out 3 paragraphs. Hey, are you still interested? Mm-hmm. And that works. So don't
overcomplicate it.
Yeah, when you're looking at your pipeline, you need a pipeline. If you don't have one, you should be building one. If you have one, you should be nurturing it. And if you haven't touched it in a while, reach out to them. There's money in the list.
I need you to add your Nate-ism as far as a pipeline and planting a tree.
There are 2 times. When's the best time to plant a tree? 20 years ago. When's the second best time to plant a tree? Today. When's the best time to have an email list? In 2008. When's the next best time? Today. Go get the money.
Thanks for tuning in to the Iconic Agent New Construction Marketing Podcast for Realtors. Subscribe now on your favorite podcast player. Visit theiconicagent.com and grab the new construction buyer traction blueprint. And don't forget, join the 5,000 plus strong new construction marketing community at www.theiconicagent.com/community. Catch you on the next episode.